I suddenly found myself in the body of a successful businessman, a man saddled with an unhealthy obsession. The body's original owner had been working himself to death, all to care for a woman's hospitalized child in a desperate attempt to win her affection. In the end, he literally died from overwork. As I processed the man's memories, I realized he'd gotten himself tangled up with a real piece of work. Apparently, he had almost married this woman, Lisa Johnson, but she had ditched him at the altar, running off with her ex on their wedding day. Yet he was still chasing after her, letting her entire family take advantage of him financially. Well, since you're gone now, buddy, I might as well enjoy this life for you. Edward, can't you take care of Ethan properly? Lisa had woken up at some point and immediately started berating me. Don't you see he kicked off his blanket? What if he catches a cold? She demanded, instead of simply covering her son herself. Seeing I wasn't reacting, she continued with a disappointed tone. Edward, I've said all this, and you still won't cover Ethan up. Do you not see him as your own child at all? I found this ridiculous. Ethan isn't my kid. Besides, I don't see you as actual mother covering him up, so why should I? Lisa was shocked. But you said my child was your child too, she sputtered. You promised you'd take care of him for life, that you'd never marry, and that you would leave all your assets to Ethan. As of now, those words no longer apply, I replied, glancing around the VIP hospital room. I added casually, this suite is costing me a fortune. I'm canceling it tomorrow. Edward, Lisa's eyes welled up. My family can't afford Ethan's hospital bills, but I never asked you to pay. Even if you try to threaten me, I won't sleep with you. Yes, you have money, but I have my dignity too. Don't think for a second you can use your money to pressure me. Seeing Lisa act like some chaste martyr, I couldn't help but laugh. Please, lady, have you looked in the mirror lately? I couldn't get excited even if I wanted to. Since marrying her so-called true love, Lisa had aged prematurely. At barely over 30, she was consumed by mundane household chores, her skin rough from a lack of care. After having a child, her figure had gone downhill too. She was well aware of all this, having heard these same criticisms from her husband countless times. She'd grown numb to it, but hearing it from me was different. She became furious. Get out, Edward. I can't believe I misjudged you so badly. You're just lashing out because you failed to take advantage of me. Let me tell you, I'll never let you touch me, ever. As for the medical bills, I'd rather beg on the streets than take your charity. Her telling me to leave was the best thing I could have asked for. I grabbed my jacket from the chair, whistling as I left. Passing the nurse's station, I told the night nurse, please cancel the VIP suite for me. It was 5 a.m. by the time I drove home. Lying in the soft, king-size bed, I felt utterly content. I really couldn't understand what the original owner had been thinking. He had a fully paid-off house and car, good looks, and height, and was a manager at a major corporation making $500,000 a year. With those qualifications, he could have had any girl he wanted. Why obsess over an ungrateful shrew? I was woken up in the morning by a barrage of phone calls. Irritated, I answered, only to be assaulted by a torrent of words before I could even speak. Edward, what is the meaning of this? Canceling the VIP suite. Ethan and I have been kicked out now. Are you happy? Don't think for a second this will make me give in to you. The woman's shrill anger was about to burst my eardrums. I hung up before she could finish. This woman seemed completely delusional, always imagining I wanted to sleep with her. To my surprise, Lisa still couldn't face reality. She showed up at my office with her child in tow. A woman carrying a 7 or 8-year-old boy and asking for me by name caused quite a stir in the office. Yet she didn't explain anything, just stood there crying like some wronged wife. Was this woman trying to ruin my reputation? Displeased, I asked Lisa, what do you want? Lisa bit her lip, stubbornly holding back tears. Edward, how dare you hang up on me? Ethan has a high fever now. Can you live with yourself? I deliberately raised my voice. He's not my child. Why should I feel guilty? The office staff started gossiping. So, it's not Mr. Wilson's child. Then why is this woman here looking for him? I knew it. How could Mr. Wilson, young and successful as he is, be interested in a woman who looks like that? Lisa's face turned red. Edward, I admit you've won. If you keep paying Ethan's hospital bills, I'll let you kiss me once. Seeing her scheming expression, I shook my head helplessly. If it were the original owner, he'd probably be rushing off to pay the bills right now, but I'm not him. Looking at her weathered face only made me feel disgusted. One kiss in exchange for tens of thousands in hospital bills? Lisa, aren't you overvaluing yourself? Lisa spoke forcefully. Edward, I'm giving you one last chance. Are you going to help or not? No, our gazes clashed. The standoff was finally interrupted by Ethan's cough. Lisa fussed over him frantically. Ethan, you're awake. Are you feeling very uncomfortable? Just bear with it a little longer. Mommy will take you to the hospital soon, and we'll stay in a VIP suite. Ethan's face was sallow, his features resembling his father, Brad. He quickly noticed me. ATM, where am I? I'm hungry. Hurry up and buy me something good to eat. Ethan's name for me was always ATM. He'd never once call me Uncle Edward. Lisa was a bit embarrassed, quickly reminding him in a low voice, Honey, what have I always told you? You should call him Uncle Edward. Ethan shouted loudly, I won't. Why could Dad call him that? that, but I can't. Lisa hurriedly covered Ethan's mouth, but seeing I had no reaction, she gradually relaxed. She stood up straight. Edward can say silly things sometimes. He didn't mean it. I'm sure you understand. I smirked. Sorry, I don't understand. Then I instructed the security guards, get this troublemaking mother and son out of here. Don't let them set foot in this company again. Lisa finally panicked. Let go of me. I'll leave on my own. She broke free from the guards and pointed at me furiously. Edward, if this is your way of trying to force me to submit, I suggest you give up now. From now on, even if you kneel and beg to pay for Ethan's surgery, I won't accept your filthy money. With that, she left, dragging Ethan, who was crying and shouting for the ATM to buy him food and toys. I really didn't want to get entangled with a woman like this anymore. This way was for the best. At least with her pride, she wouldn't come bothering me again. Sure enough, Lisa didn't pester me for several days after that, and I was living carefree. One day, as I was driving to work, a bicycle suddenly appeared as I was turning a corner. I slammed on the brakes, but still hit it. I quickly got out to check, hoping the person was okay. To my surprise, the person who was hit got up on their own, muttering, oh no, I'm gonna be late. I asked with concern, are you alright? When the girl looked up, I was stunned by her beauty. What a youthful, sunny face. I'm Fina. I need to get to work, she said hurriedly, turning to leave. That's when I noticed the bright red on her leg. My expression immediately turned serious as I grabbed her wrist. Wait, you can't leave. Your leg is injured. I'll take you to the hospital. The girl became anxious. Oh, come on, I really am fine. This little bit of blood won't kill me. It's my first day at work, and I'm about to be late. After thinking for a moment, I said, how about this? Tell me which company you work for, and I'll pick you up after work to go to the hospital. Starlight Limited Company. Starlight Limited Company? I was stunned. Was it the very company where I worked? I suddenly remembered HR saying just yesterday that some new employees were starting today. What a coincidence. I decided to just take out my business card. Hello, I'm a manager at Starlight Limited Company. With me here, you won't be fired. Now, can you please come to the hospital with me? The girl's eyes lit up, though she seemed a bit shy when facing me again. Well, if it's not too much trouble. I couldn't help but smile. Even though I was the one who hit her, she said it was no trouble. What a sweet girl. In the car, we chatted casually, and I learned the girl's name was Miriam Davis. What a lovely name, I thought. When we arrived at the hospital and entered the lobby, I saw a crowd gathered in a circle. Miriam grinned at me, then started squeezing into the crowd. Worried she'd get hurt, I could only follow and protect her as we pushed through. When I saw the scene before us, I was stunned. Lisa was kneeling on the ground, her spine bent as she kowtowed to those around her, begging pitifully, please, save my child. Be kind and give me some money, even just $1 or $2. Ethan was lying on the ground, looking half dead, but around her were only scattered coins and small bills. How pitiful. Miriam compassionately took out a $100 bill and gave it to her. Lisa was ecstatic when she saw it, repeatedly bowing in our direction. Thank you, young lady. You're truly a... Her voice suddenly cut off as she saw my face. Her expression turned as if she'd eaten something rotten. She raised her voice. Edward, how dare you show your face after what you've done to me? From the moment you abandoned me and Ethan, I swore I'd never forgive you. I told you, even if I have to beg, I won't accept a penny from you. Miriam looked at me strangely, as if she'd just heard some huge secret. An onlooker piped up, young man, you look well off, but your wife and child are suffering like this. What kind of man are you? How can there be such men in this world? Another person added. Someone else chimed in. Ladies, I took a picture of this jerk. Avoid him at all costs. Hearing the crowd's accusations and seeing people taking out their phones to record, I laughed bitterly. Phoenix, since you want to be shameless, don't blame me for being ruthless. I took out my phone and called Brad, saying in a commanding tone, Brad, get to City Hospital right now and take your wife and kid home. Oh, and from now on, don't expect to get that $10,000 from me every month anymore. Edward, are you trying to get me killed? Lisa let out a piercing scream. You know full well Brad will beat me to death if you do this. At this point, the onlookers finally started to understand. So this guy isn't her husband. This woman seems crazy. Is she mentally ill? Poor guy getting scammed like this. I didn't want to deal with her anymore. I took Miriam's arm, intending to take her for a checkup, but Lisa stopped us. She pointed at Miriam and questioned, Edward, what's your relationship with this woman? I said deliberately, none of your business. Are we that close? Lisa stared at me for a moment, then laughed hysterically. I get it now, Edward. You must have found some random woman just to make me jealous. You think this will make me feel threatened, but I don't care about you at all. I don't care who you're with. You call my husband to force me to get a divorce? Edward, your methods are so vicious. But let me tell you, even if Brad beats me to death, I won't divorce him. I want you to never, ever be able to have me for the rest of your life. Miriam moved closer to me, seeming a bit scared. She carefully asked, Boss, how did you end up involved with this lunatic? I gave a wry smile. It's a long story. I'd rather not talk about the past. Miriam didn't press further, just nodding. She looked so obedient and cute. After that, I didn't bother saying another word to Lisa. I took Miriam for a checkup, only relaxing when the doctor confirmed it was was just a minor external injury. She pouted. Boss, I told you I was fine. You still insisted on a checkup. I felt relieved, too. Well, now that I know you're okay, I can relax. Let's go get your prescription. But just as we finished getting the medicine, Brad came dragging Lisa toward me. He gave me an ingratiating smile. Brother Edward, how can you just cut off the living expenses? Did this bitch upset you? I'll teach her a lesson. With that, he started viciously slapping Lisa's face, cursing as he hit her. You worthless woman. Didn't I tell you to serve Brother Edward well? How dare you upset him? You're cutting off my income. Lisa glared at me hatefully. Finally, Brad stopped, afraid of beating her to death. He fawned over me. Brother, if this bitch doesn't behave in the future, just beat her. But please, don't cut off my living expenses. Lisa said to Brad in disbelief. Honey, how can you do this to me? Back then, I ran away in my wedding dress with just one call from you. Brad sneered back. Back then, I was just messing with you. Who knew you'd take it seriously and even get pregnant with my child? I wasn't done having fun, but you forced me to marry you. I couldn't help but laugh, giving Lisa an excuse to vent. What are you laughing at, Edward? Even if I get beaten every day, I'm still happy. I've never regretted running away from our wedding. I can't even imagine how miserable my life would be if I married a man like you, who likes to use money to insult people. I nodded in agreement, then said, well then, continue being happy. On the way back, Miriam was silent. I was wondering what was wrong when she suddenly spoke very seriously as we neared the office. Boss, I'm really sorry for accidentally learning your secret today. I promise I won't say a word about what happened to anyone. Hearing this, I understood. The poor girl was afraid I'd make things difficult for her at work. My tone softened. Don't worry. That woman caused a scene at the company before. It's not really a secret. Miriam finally let out a sigh of relief. In the time that followed, I found myself constantly thinking about Miriam as if I were under a spell. Having never pursued a girl before, I went online to research what kind of gifts I should give. After much deliberation, I chose a simple yet elegant crystal bracelet from a luxury brand. One day, I called Miriam to my office. Ahem, Miriam, this book is for you. The bracelet was tucked inside the thick book. As she reached out to take it, my heart started racing. Miriam said sweetly, thank you, boss. With that, she bounced out of the office. But several days passed and nothing happened. Miriam greeted me sweetly as usual whenever she saw me, as if nothing had changed. What was going on? Did the bracelet fall out? Just as I was puzzling over this, one day, I came to work and found a jewelry box on my desk. I had a hunch about what it might be. Nervously opening it, I found another bracelet inside. There was also a note. I got you a bracelet too. Let's consider them our tokens of love. I stared at the bracelet, grinning like an idiot for a long time. Then I eagerly put it on and went to find Miriam. When our eyes met, she smiled brightly, swaying her wrist to show off her bracelet. We exchanged knowing smiles. Our relationship blossomed sweetly after that. I also learned more about Miriam. It turned out she came from a good family and was working at the company just to gain some experience. She also enjoyed sports, which was something we had in common. As we got to know each other better, our feelings deepened. One day, I took her to an upscale restaurant for a romantic candlelit dinner. To my surprise, we saw Lisa working there as a cleaner. Lisa frowned in displeasure. Edward, when will you leave me alone? I've been trying so hard to avoid you. Why do you keep finding ways to track me down? Then she looked down at Miriam beside me. Young lady, I advise you not to waste your time on this man. He's always loved me in his heart. You can never replace me. Even at this point, I didn't know where Lisa got the confidence to think I still liked her. The manager hurried over and scolded Lisa. How dare you offend our VIP customers? You and Miss Davis are worlds apart. How can you say such shameless things? Don't forget, you were begging me to give you this cleaning job. If you don't want it, get out. Lisa bit her lip. She angrily asked me, Edward, what will it take for you to leave me alone? Don't think that by making me lose my job, I'll come crawling back to you. I, Lisa Johnson, have my pride. I couldn't help but look her up and down scornfully. Lisa covered herself protectively, saying wearily, what are you trying to do? At this point, even Miriam couldn't take it anymore. She said exasperatedly, lady, no need to cover up. You'd be better off buying a decent bra or getting some treatment. Look how saggy you've gotten. Lisa flew into a rage. She slapped Miriam across the face, yelling, you little tramp, who are you to talk? Even if I sagged to the floor, Edward would still love me. Unlike you, you're just a plaything. You think Edward would dare to even make a peep if I hit you? I held Miriam protectively, glaring at Lisa with murderous eyes. Lisa shrank back a bit in fear, but she still shouted defiantly, Edward, what can you do to me? If you dare say one word against me, you'll never see me again. The manager was so scared his legs were shaking. He slapped Lisa hard. How did I hire such bad luck? Security, get this crazy woman out of here. Lisa finally panicked. Manager, you can't fire me. I finally found a job. How will I support my family without this? Soon, security arrived, but I stopped them. I took out a wad of cash from my wallet. I'll give you $100 for each slap you give her. Really? The security guard's eyes lit up eagerly, but Lisa wasn't scared. Edward, you think you can intimidate me like this? Go ahead and hit me. If you don't, you're not a real man. Hearing this, I handed all the money to the guard. Give give her 50 slaps to start. Only then did she realize I wasn't joking. As the slaps rained down one after another, Lisa went from cursing to begging. Edward, I was wrong. Make him stop. I'll sleep with you if I have to. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Please stop. I'll really die if this continues. Soon, she could barely speak coherently. After 50 slaps, the guard shook out his sore hand. Lisa's face was swollen like a pig's head. That's when I suddenly realized Miriam had witnessed my brutal side. I nervously looked at Miriam, afraid she'd look at me with fear. She seemed to guess what I was thinking and gently shook her head. What you did was right. We don't bully others, but we won't let others bully us either. All right, darling. Let's go enjoy our candlelit dinner. I'm hungry, she urged, pulling me away. But I felt someone grabbing my pant leg. Looking back, it was Lisa. This was the first time I saw genuine fear in her eyes. She struggled to speak clearly, asking one word at a time. Edward, do you really not love me anymore? I directly kissed Miriam's lips right in front of her. After a passionate kiss, Miriam blushed and nestled in my arms. I said to Lisa, well, do you believe it now? With that, Miriam and I left without looking back, leaving Lisa desperately shouting something unintelligible. During dinner, Miriam kept pouting. I racked my brains trying to tell jokes to cheer her up. She rested her chin on her hand, puffing out her cheeks as she said, I didn't expect an old man like you to be so sought after. I need to keep you on a leash. Are you willing? I quickly coaxed her. I'm willing. I'll do whatever you say, my queen. And let's get married. Now it was my turn to be stunned. I looked into her eyes to confirm she wasn't joking. She turned away haughtily. Only get one chance. Who knows when the next one will be if you miss it. I got excited. Marry you? I couldn't ask for anything better. Then we both looked at each other and grinned like idiots. After that, we threw ourselves into planning a grand wedding. I wanted to give Miriam the best of everything in the world. But just then, Brad showed up. Brother Edward, I just found out this useless woman of mine never actually served you. I told her to go apologize to you, but she refused. I got so angry, I told her to go sell herself. After a few days, she came crying back, saying she agreed to make amends. He spat and continued, hurry up and serve Brother Edward well. You've already been with thousands of men, so your skills better be on point. You must satisfy Brother Edward. To my disgust, Lisa actually looked at me expectantly. She was even making some coquettish gestures. I'm getting married soon. Don't make me sick, I said. Hearing this, both of their expressions changed. Lisa was particularly agitated. Edward, who are you marrying? Is it that little tramp? I won't allow you to marry her. Brad reacted quickly, fawning over me. Brother, that's no problem. Having a wife doesn't stop you from eating out occasionally. My revulsion was obvious. I find that dirty. Brad still didn't give up promoting his wife. Brother Edward, you're wrong about that. Street food may be dirty, but it's tasty. An occasional change can be irresistible. I shut the door in their faces and had security throw them out. Several more days passed. I was planning to take Miriam to buy jewelry. I wasn't going to be stingy with my own wife about anything. Miriam, take another look. Edward, hearing that familiar voice, I couldn't help but frown. Even Miriam muttered quietly, why does this person keep haunting us? Lisa was standing in the store all dressed up. She looked at the gold jewelry on Miriam's hand, her eyes burning with jealousy. Edward, I regret it. Marry me instead. I'm not materialistic like this woman, wanting all this gold jewelry. We can go to the county clerk's office right now. Before I could speak, the store manager chased her away with a mop. What are you raving about? Get out of here. What if you have some disease that spreads through the air? Lisa desperately shouted at me. Edward, I really regret it. I don't believe you have absolutely no feelings for me anymore. After the scene ended, the staff sprayed disinfectant several times where Lisa had been standing. The manager explained, that woman stands on the street corner opposite the jewelry store every day. Who knows what diseases she might have? Now I understood how she could find me. She was street walking near the jewelry store, but all of this was her just deserts. As the wedding day approached, Miriam simply moved in with me. We went to and from work together every day, bought groceries, and cooked together. Life was blissful. One day, while shopping at the farmer's market, there was suddenly a commotion nearby. Such a young kid and already no good. How many times have you stolen from my store? I ought to teach you a lesson on behalf of your parents. Apparently, a deli had been robbed. I didn't pay much attention. Suddenly, a child hugged my leg, pointing behind him and arrogantly ordering, and that bastard hit me. If you help me teach him a lesson, I'll call you uncle. The deli owner caught up and questioned me. Are you this little thief's father? I shoved the boy away forcefully. I don't know him. This little thief has bad intentions. Probably just randomly picked someone to try to get out of trouble. The deli owner grabbed the boy's ear. Go get your parents to come pay for what you stole. I'm not letting you leave otherwise. Ethan still wouldn't give up, shouting at me. Damn ATM, hurry up and save me or I'll tell my mom. Miriam said angrily, what a bunch of weirdos. I comforted her. All right, don't let awful people ruin your mood. We won't cook today. I'll take you out for something delicious. Okay. Miriam's face finally lit up with a smile again. After dinner, as we passed by the farmer's market on the way home, I saw police cars. I went to ask and found out that Ethan had run away, but in his haste, he crashed into a telephone pole and broke his neck. I also saw Brad and Lisa at the scene. Brad was kicking and punching Lisa. "You useless woman. You can't even watch a child properly. What use are you? Give me back my son." I silently drove away. What goes around comes around. Some things are best left to fate. This incident was quickly forgotten in the midst of our busy preparations because Miriam and I were getting married the next day. We booked the best hotel in San Francisco for our wedding and invited many colleagues and relatives to witness our happiness. But at this crucial moment, Lisa came to cause trouble again. The day before the wedding, she frantically called and sent me messages threatening to ruin my wedding if I didn't respond to her. Left with no choice, I had to deal with it. "Edward, I was wrong. I went too far before and I hurt you. Please, give me another chance. Brad isn't human at all. He brings a bunch of men home every day to torture me for money. I'll die if this continues. I know you always liked Ethan. Now that Ethan is dead, I can give you a child of our own. How about that?" I felt she had reached a state of madness. But to avoid affecting my wedding with Miriam, I had to placate her for the time being. "Lisa, calm down. Let's talk about this after tomorrow, okay? No, don't think I don't know what you're planning." Lisa became agitated. "You need to make me the bride right now. Edward, I know you must still have feelings for me. Let's be together. I won't mess up again." I hung up the phone. I could only resort to the most extreme method to deal with her. I called Brad. "Keep your wife in check tomorrow. If you can get through the day without any incidents, I'll give you $20,000. Brad immediately agreed. To prevent any accidents, I also hired over a dozen extra security guards with instructions to immediately remove anyone who caused a scene. In the end, the wedding went perfectly, and I could finally relax. Brad eagerly came to collect the money, which I handed over promptly. But a few days later, the police came to my door asking why I had given Brad money. Although I didn't know what had happened, I told them everything truthfully. Luckily, my phone had an automatic call recording function. To convince the police I was telling the truth, I found and played the recording from that day. "All right, if we have any further questions, please cooperate, Mr. Wilson." Of course. I hesitated but still asked, "May I ask what happened?" Brad killed his wife and fled. The body wasn't discovered until the landlord came to collect rent 3 days later. Hearing this, my heart suddenly skipped a beat. For a moment, I didn't know how to react. The law has a long arm. Before long, Brad was captured and brought to justice. The case became clearer. It turned out that on the day of my wedding, Lisa had insisted on going to the venue. Brad couldn't stop her no matter what. In his desperation, he ended up killing Lisa with a stool. I sighed deeply upon hearing the full story. "Honey," I turned toward an enchanting voice to see my wife in a maid costume, beckoning to me. "Honey, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep." I smiled knowingly, carrying her into the bedroom. "Darling, how about we make you a mom this year?" "Well, that depends on your skills," she purred. A year later, things had changed. After frantically putting our daughter to sleep, I collapsed exhausted onto the bed. My wife whispered in my ear, "Honey, let's have a second child." I sighed. "Oh, when will this life of servitude ever end?"